From the monday.com offices in New York City, this is The Bottom Line, where top marketing experts discuss the revolution happening in the industry of marketing. Let's get into it. Search engines, which was in and of itself an advancement, an invention.
So cool.
That changed how we do things. But the Wall Street Journal is saying that 80% of consumers resolve 40% of queries without clicking links. So let's talk SEO for a second.
Well, that number is just going to go up, obviously. Your website as a business, as any business, your website is less important today than it has ever been, and it will be less important every day here forward, because why would you necessarily go to a website other to transact when you can get all the things in some kind of large language model without having to click back, ads, learn the navigation of this website? I mean, think about website navigation for just a second, okay? The entire premise is bonkers. Every single website ever devised has a different navigation schema. Imagine catalogs were that way. This catalog is numbered with prime numbers. This one is back to front. This one is top down. I mean, the whole premise is bizarre. And we've managed to struggle our way through for 20 years. And now we're at the point, well, here's an idea. Why don't you just tell me the answer instead of making me do all the work? And I think it's going to be a massive shift from search optimization to answer optimization, but it's also going to create a ton of new jobs in marketing and roles.
I mean, I wonder what type of search behaviors will people move to the voice assistant or GPTs, and what type of search behaviors will move to YouTube and TikTok. Some people I'm seeing that people really trust influencers, like even in industries that you would think it's crazy that they're looking for financial advice on TikTok or medical advice on TikTok. But those sources are becoming more important than your family, than Google, than a professional. So I hear the 40% of queries, and I hope that both TikTok and YouTube and the GPTs come up with some kind of metric that can give you the ranking visibility that you currently have with SEO. Like right now, you can pick keywords and you can say, we're going to focus on being the top result for pants, and you can know if it's working for you. Right now, we're all flying blind. So I am hoping that at some point we're going to have visibility into that metric. But there is always going to be a percentage that clicks, and at least I wish CMOs were currently tracking that percentage, because you can already see in the source of your traffic if you're getting traffic from ChatGPT. So you can task your team and say, you need to double this, you need to triple this. So even if it's only 5%, 10% of all the volume of views in ChatGPT or in every tool, as long as it's moving in the right direction, you get some visibility into the work that we're doing to create the content, to have reputable sources talking about us, is yielding some kind of visibility in these tools.
I remember back in the day, we would come up with the 70 different words that were critical to have and just fill the page with those words. Looking at this, it's now, answer optimization is what's going to be about. So Google is now under serious pressure, especially with OpenAI and Perplexity rolling out their own browsers that are, I don't even, back to your point about design, like, I don't know what that browser would look like. It's basically like a text field, like, what do you want to know? Well, what do you want to know, bro? And it's going to ask you, and you're like, what are the sneakers I can get for $120 that are size 10.5? Here's 4, send it to my house. There's no brand, there's no searching. It's just, we know what you like or what people like, and that'll be good enough for 80% of the questions. That'll be that's the likely solution. So this is going to be an interesting thing to look back on in 10 years and say, we were worried about this beforehand.
Yep.
Is SEO dead though?
No, the SEO is more alive than ever. It's just changing, but I think it's going to be more important than before.
And SEO itself has gone through a number of major iterations over decades in terms of best practices and what works. And look, nothing's ever dead. I mean, you can still build a successful brand in radio. And radio has been pronounced dead many times, right? So nothing is ever dead, but nothing ever dies. Yeah. Sometimes when you think things are dead, that actually creates the great opportunity. Direct mail. Yeah. I mean, direct mail, because it fell so out of favor, it became a really important way to build brands, especially in B2B, when you're doing some really cool dimensional mail and things like that.
Yeah, we've seen some real evolution in it. Most of the brands that hit 80 and 100 million in digital revenue on Instagram, et cetera. They're like, we can't do any more investment in Instagram. Where's the people?
Yeah.
And so direct mail or catalogs or those other avenues, outdoor, become the logical, I'm going to try these other channels, and suddenly you can grow your brand again. So you have to extend beyond what your comfort range is for a D2C brand that grew on digital.
When you're in a company where you have an executive team that believe that they are the customer, that's a problem. Because even if they are a customer of the product, they are not the customer of the product. And they tend to just assume that if they don't like the ad, then the ad is bad.